everyone, and welcome to today's session. I'm really excited for this one today. We've been having 2 sessions this morning from Pam, so thank you very much, Pam. I've adored your sessions, particularly the site that you've just been creating. I thought that was fantastic, and all the feedback as well. There was just kind of 2 great sessions there. Just going to double check that everybody can kind of hear me, so I'm just going to... Yep, it's all looking good. So yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got the chat open today, so if you do have any questions throughout, please do let us know. You can use YouTube just to comment any questions that you've got. I'm more than happy to help out and answer. I'm going to show you our Twitter handles in just a second here as well. So we're more than happy for you to reach out as well on Twitter. We've got our email addresses in there. So please do contact either myself or Pam on Twitter or via email. And yeah, we're more than happy to help out and answer any questions as we go through today's session. So what are we going to be covering? This is session 3. We're going to be having a look at making the most of Chromebooks using things like the accessibility settings. And we're also going to take a look at creativity as well. So we've got loads of different kind of websites for you to have a look at. We've got lots of settings for you to turn on from within your device. And I'm going to show you how to access all of those throughout today's session. So here's what we're going to be covering. So we've got the Chromebook accessibility tools. Now, if you have joined us for the Chromebook Roadshow, then you will be kind of used to using these now. We've pointed them out. We've had a shot for you, or a chance for you to have a shot of using the quick access accessibility tools. So yeah, thank you to all the schools who have had us out on the Chromebook Roadshow so far. We're also going to be having a look at using MOOT today. We're going to have a quick look at Google Experiments. We're going to have a kind of shot of using Soundtrap as well. And then lastly, we're going to have a very quick look at using Canva video. So there we've got lots of opportunities to explore the accessibility features within the Chromebook devices, and also kind of ways that you can become creative using your Chromebooks that you've already got in your class or that you're looking to get down the line as well. So I think that's the last of my slides. Yes, it is. As I go forward there is a website that Pam has already created that's got everything that we're going to be using today. So if at all you're wanting to go and have a little look, please do type in, we've got the bit.ly down at the bottom there, or you can use the QR code scanner to access the site that Pam has been created. And it's got access to all the videos from today's session. And it's also got everything that you can kind of copy and paste directly into your Google Classrooms, or you can use with your students. It's all there ready to go. So I'm jumping between 2 devices at the moment. So I've got my kind of the main device that I'm using just now, so I can have the camera down looking on me, and I've also got down here the Chromebook. So if my eyes kind of jump between the 2, that is why. So what I'm going to do just now is I'm going to head over to the Chromebook, and I'm going to start sharing my screen there. And from there, let's make me a little bit bigger. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So here we are. This is my Chromebook that I'm using. You'll be kind of a wee bit more accustomed to using the Chromebook layout there. But on the bottom right-hand corner, this is where you're going to see we've got our Chromebook accessibility. It's hidden down in the corner there in the quick access. So if you click down here where the battery is or the Wi-Fi, this is where you're going to find your accessibility settings. So from here, I've got the little person there that's making the tea with their arms. They're kind of standing out, right? So we've got the accessibility settings within here. And I'm going to go through these one by one with you, just kind of the main ones that I expect that you'll be using within your class. Now, these settings here are not kind of every setting within your device. These are just your quick access ones. There are more settings that are within kind of the main settings of your Chromebook. I'm saying the word settings a lot there. So you can find the actual full accessibility settings from within this settings cog here. But we're going to just talk about these quick access accessibility tools here today. So the first one here is the Chromevox spoken feedback. So if I turn this one on just now, everywhere, here we go, that my mouse touches, so if I come in here, there's my Google Docs, everywhere that my mouse touches is going to read out to me on the screen. So I'm not sure if this is going to come across, hopefully it does. So it does. So on my screen, I can hear it reading out to me. Now, it's important that you know kind of where this one is. It's great if you've got any learners in your class who have any visual needs, because everything is then read out to them. It's also great as well if you've got lots of people in your class who are all using it, and maybe sometimes somebody doesn't know how they've turned it on. It's great to know how you can turn these settings off as well. So that is the Chromebook spoken feedback. Have a little shot of that on your own device. All it does is it reads everything that's out on the screen that you click with your mouse. It'll read that all out to you. We've then also got select to speak. So what this does is down at the bottom, when that setting is turned on, you'll notice that I have this little speaker that appears down here. So that speaker will allow me to then have anything that's on the screen read out to me. So if I go to our Chromebook Roadshow website, let's just go to Chromebook roadshow.scot website. When this loads up there. So we've got lots of text on here. So if I use my speaker to read all this out, all I need to do is I need to click down here at the bottom, click on the speaker to kind of arm it, to prepare it, and then I can click and drag with my mouse my purple box over the text that appears on the screen, and when I let go, it'll start to read it out to me. Now, I'm not sure if you're able to hear that through the screen, so this is something for you to try at home or on the device that you are using. All you need to do it is, if I click the X there to come off, is click on the little speaker that's down in the bottom corner once I've turned it on. So that prepares the Chromebook to say, I'm getting ready to have something read out to me. And then you click and drag your purple box around the device, and it's going to start reading that out to you. Okay. Now, you don't have to do this for every piece of text that is on the screen. What you can do is you can just jump to the next piece of text, and it's going to start reading that out to you as well. From within this little play bar that appears, you can adjust the speed that is read out to you as well. So you can listen back at a higher speed, at a slower speed. It all depends on what your students typically use. So that is how you use the text to speech. So it reads everything out to you. The next one is the speech to text. So you'll see here, I've got a little microphone. So anywhere that you would typically use a keyboard to type, you can use this microphone to use your voice to type with, essentially. So if I head to my Google Doc here, you'll notice that the little microphone becomes, it turns on. So I can now use the dictation tool. So I can click, and now it's going to start to recognize all of the text that I am saying with my voice. Okay, so I'm going to undo that just now, and we're going to try that one again because I'm using a couple of different microphones. So again, this is multiple keyboards as well here. So this is one for you to try at home. So if I wanted to or on the device you're using, welcome to today's session. Struggling a wee bit just now, just with because I've got multiple microphones that I'm using. So give that one a wee try. It's brilliant for students to use their voice to search with. It's also great if you have, say, anybody who has any kind of fine motor difficulties and they're unable yet to type, or maybe anybody who doesn't speak the language that you're wanting them to write in, then they can be able to use their voice to type with. You do also have the dictation tool up here as well. So if I go to voice typing within my Google Doc, I can start to type with my voice as well. So if I click here, suddenly I'm able to type with my voice. Suddenly I'm able to type with my voice, full stop. Yeah, it's just going a wee bit slow just with the multiple microphones and because I'm live streaming here on my device. So give that one a wee try. It genuinely does work. It's just because I'm live streaming just now. I've got lots of things open, got multiple microphones plugged in there. So please do give that one a wee try. It really is really useful. And if you've been on the Chromebook Roadshow, you'll know just how powerful that one is. You'll know kind of you've had a chance to try it out and kind of prove there to yourselves that that works. If I head back to the accessibility tools, we've also got, so if I turn off these two settings there, we can invert our colors. So if I click on there, it's going to invert all of my colors on the screen there. So everything that is dark becomes light, everything that is light becomes dark. I've got my full screen magnifier. Okay, so that will zoom in my full screen, and everywhere that I move my cursor, the screen will follow. Okay, now you'll notice that this one is in kind of quite good quality. There is another option as well down here. We also have the docked magnifier. So what that does is the top third of your screen, it will kind of magnify that. Now what it does is it just zooms in kind of around the cursor there. So the quality isn't as strong as the full screen magnifier, but that's absolutely fine. I would prefer to have this version, because then you can see everything down at the bottom, everything that you're doing, and then it just zooms in up at the top for you. So it's great if you are given any presentations. Then I could say, type in this web address, and everybody at the back of the room is then able to see everything that you are doing. Okay, so just turn that off again. Docked magnifier. So it puts my screen back to standard. We've also got, if I come down, come on mouse, we've got our large mouse cursor and highlight mouse cursor as well. Now, these are two settings that I use throughout the day. You'll notice that I've got my big cursor there, and it's got a red ring around it. So that's my large mouse cursor, and my highlight mouse cursor. Highlight just puts the red ring around it. So this is a great feature if you have anybody with like, if you're giving a presentation or you're talking to your class and you're showing them exactly what they're needing to do, then you're able to show them from a wee bit further back just exactly where they're supposed to be going. It's also great, I know Pam mentioned earlier about Screencastify. If you're giving instruction to anybody, then you're able to point exactly where you're needing things to go. It's great just for kind of highlighting where you are, and it just makes it easier for everybody to see exactly where you are pointing to. So like I said, it's great for kind of people at the back of the room, so they're able to see. It's also great for anybody who has any visual needs within your class. So those are the kind of standard accessibility tools that most classes will be able to use. We've also got things like on-screen keyboards as well. So if you do have your device turned into tablet mode, or if your keyboard stops working for whatever reason, then you do have an on-screen keyboard that you can use, and you just press this little button here down to hide it. And we've also got things like automatic clicks. So if you hover your mouse over anywhere, then it's going to automatically click for you. You don't have to kind of click with your mouse or with your finger. It'll just do it for you. Switch access, if you've got access to kind of big buttons, then you can use that. Mono audio, so if you have any kind of hearing impairments or hearing needs, then you normally your speaker would come out two headphones. It would go into your right headphone and your left headphone. If it's on mono, then it's just going to play the same thing in both headphones. Great for if you're having to use one earbud for each. I know cleanliness, you'd have to clean it afterwards, but it's great for that as well. And you've also got your sticky keys as well. So if you have anybody who has any fine motor needs within your class, then it's, I can see somebody not hearing the voice, but can see it. Perfect. I'll come back to that. Then sticky keys are great because you can just press like shift once, take your finger off, and then go into control. It holds it in for you, and it will remember that. Perfect. So I'm just going to stop sharing just now. I'm jumping between two mice as well with my two devices that I'm trying to use here. So I'm just going to remove the Chromebook there from us just now. I saw we've got a comment there from Pam McDowell, not hearing the voice, but I can see it reading. Perfect. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's absolutely fine. It's purely because I'm streaming it. It's not coming out to me. So I can hear it through my speaker, but it's just not coming through the microphone. So that's no problem at all. So those are the quick access accessibility tools for your Chromebook. They really are a game changer. I know a lot of people don't know where they are. So please do have a little look and find them. They're just in the bottom right-hand corner down on the battery or where the Wi-Fi is, and you've got your quick access within there. So we are now going to have a look at, what did I say was next? Let's have a wee look. It was MOOT. So let's head over to MOOT. I'm going to start to share this very quick presentation with everybody here. So share a tab, MOOT. Oh, not that one, the other MOOT. I've got two MOOT tabs open. So let's go for slide, present, share screen. Here we go. MOOT examples. That's the one. Okay, great. So I'm just checking over here that that's gone through. Okay, so here we are on just a Google Slides, just a very simple Google Slides. And I've got two examples of how you can use MOOT within your class to kind of support any learners who have any kind of reading needs within your class, whether that's kind of they speak English as an additional language or they're not yet able to read and write. That's absolutely fine. We can use our verbal feedback to support our students. So you'll notice the first thing, as I'm sharing my screen, is that you get this little kind of pop-up for MOOT up at the top once you've installed that extension. So I can open the MOOT recorder from within here, and now I can start to record a MOOT note. So all it is verbal feedback or verbal instruction for your students. So I could say, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. This week, I would like you to fill in week 2. And I would like you to leave me feedback on 2 things that you have learned this week. So now it will start to save my MOOT note. I can listen back to it. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. This week, I would like you to fill in week 2. And I would like you to leave me feedback on 2 things that you have learned this week. Okay, so that's what our students are going to be able to hear. I can then insert my MOOT little icon, my little audio clip. Oh, it's just taking a wee second. Come on, Wi-Fi. I wonder if I pin this down. Let's try it again. Let's try it one more time. Good morning, everyone. I'd like you to leave a MOOT note with 2 things that you have learned this week for week 2. Okay, I'm going to hit insert, and it's going to insert my little MOOT clip within here. It's just taking a wee second there, just with the Wi-Fi. That's all right. So just as that's kind of coming in, pop up in the chat if you have used MOOT before. I would love to hear kind of any examples or see any examples that you've used MOOT for. I particularly like that you can just leave voice notes. It's great for leaving feedback. So typically we use it within the office. We're delivering a couple of sessions down the line, and a few of the team have been putting their sessions together. So instead of me having to type out millions of kind of comments and kind of leaving in-depth comments for our team, we've just been using MOOT to communicate quickly, and yeah, then it adds that little bit of personalization, and it also allows you to kind of get more get across kind of the meaning within the words that you're saying. Okay, I think my Wi-Fi is struggling a wee bit today. That is no problem at all. Let's just cancel that. So what happens is, is one of these little purple circles will just appear, and then once your students are ready to complete the work, they can just go in and they can listen back to. Hello, everyone, and welcome to MOOT. This is the first time that they can listen to the audio clip that you have left for your students. They can then move that around, or you can move that around to a place that suits you. So for this example, I have here created it's essentially like a KWL grid. So what do we know prior to starting our lesson on dinosaurs, or on our book of the week, or on kind of any piece of learning that you've done? So what do we know prior to that? What have we learned in week 1? What have we learned in week 2? And what have we learned after? What is our kind of favorite fact that we have learned here? So this is a great way again of you being able to use audio clips to support your students. I've used it previously just like this within the P1 2 classrooms. So we'd have it out for play, and I just have a Chromebook just sitting there for our students to go in, and they could leave me a little voice note, and they could record their learning just in this kind of little stylized KWL grid. And then we've got evidence of their learning throughout as they go up to from nursery all the way up to P7. You've got evidence of that learning. Means we don't have to rely on our students being able to type or to be able to read and write. They can just use their voice, and so it's really powerful for that. So there's an example of how you can use MOOT within the classroom. You can also use it to give instructions. So as we were doing there, so we could record our voice note. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just close your eyes just now as I copy and paste this one in, and pretend that is my instruction that I've left for everybody. So I would record my voice note, hit record. Good morning, everyone. I would like you to please complete this drag and drop activity using the phonics and your CVC words. Okay, hit stop. It'll import our little voice note there. So we've got our instructions for our students. I can then also not show our film strip, share this out to Google Classroom. Then they have their own kind of drag and drop activity. When they open up Google Slides, they can then drag and drop the images into exactly where they need to be. Okay, so that's just an example of how you can use MOOT to give instruction, but also to record learning as well. So that is MOOT as an extension. I'm going to stop sharing my screen there just now. Okay. We're now going to take a little look at Google Experiments. Okay, so what time are we looking at? 20 past, that's fine. So this is honestly some of my favorite things that you can use within kind of the wider Google products. So I'm going to, again, start sharing my screen. So I'm going to share Chrome tab, and we're going to go to experiments, and I'm going to jump between them all. So that's fine. It'll take a little second. So here is experiments.withgoogle.com. So this is where a lot of new kind of tech and new ideas can be found. And it's a place for people to try out different like AI, try out different opportunities within Google that you might see 5-10 years down the line. So for example, we've got our collections here. So we've got digital well-being experiments, we've got alternative reality experiments, we've got Chrome experiments, you've got things like AI as well. So these are all the things that people kind of just want to try and see what it looks like, and kind of allow people to have a little play around with kind of the future of the devices that are in front of us. Now, because they are experiments, sometimes things can be a little bit buggy, but that's no problem. I've got two for you to try out today that have kind of superseded the Chrome experiments or Google experiments web page, and people will just go to them instead of going through the experiments. Now, these are kind of two of people's favorite experiments that have ever been on Chrome. So to find experiments, all you do is you go to experiments up at the top. We've got sort by there, oldest A to Z as well. So you've got things like you can create manga. There's the 3D pottery that Pam mentioned earlier. A lot of them link in with arts and culture. There's things like drawing manga, so you can use that one. We've got things like a guess the word. So like, for example, it'll ask you to draw something using your mouse or using your touchpad, and from there Google will try to guess what you've tried to draw there. But two of my favorite ones that we're going to be having a look at today, I wonder if I click here, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to pull over to this tab instead. Lots of jumping between tabs, but it's the only way that I can share the audio, is the Blob Opera. Okay. Now, the Blob Opera really is fantastic. It's really cool. So this one here, you'll see they're starting to follow my cursor around, which is quite nice. We can, for one, choose the place that we're going to be singing from. So here we are in London just now. Let's go for Paris. Let's go to France. So here we are in France. There's the Eiffel Tower in the background there. And we can record our opera that we're creating with our blobs. So as I pull my mouse up, so as I click and drag my mouse up, I'll sing higher notes. So you can, there's lots of learning about pitch within there. So you've got your higher note there and your lower note. And as I drag from left to right, I can change the sound. So it'll be a, o, and or oo. Can't remember exactly what they are, but you can hear them all. Okay, and the blobs will all sing in different ways. So we've got our bass, we've got our sopranos, tenors, that kind of thing. So you can create your own blob opera within there. Now, what's great is we've also got access to lots of different songs as well. So let's click on this first one here. Okay, I'm going to stop the song there, and we can share our song that we've been creating as well, so people can go in and they can watch the song that we've created. So for example, if I go back, we can drag up the blobs. Let's record our blobs. Okay, I can hit finish, and then I can share my creation with everybody as well. So you can get your students to create their own music, to create their own songs using the Blob Opera. It really is great fun. It's a brilliant lesson. You've got lots of kind of key terms you can talk about with kind of your pitch, your tone. You've got your soprano, alto, tenor, bass, I think, in there as well. We've got our different sounds that we create with our voices. You can talk about kind of how you would project those voices, and kind of it could possibly be like a drama lesson as well. You could get them to kind of make those sounds and yeah, have a little play around with music. So that is the Blob Opera. So that is one of the Google experiments. That's one of my favorite ones out there. We've also got, I'm just going to close that one down now. I'm not going to tell you until you can see it. Present, share screen. Chrome tab, where is it? Here it is. Chrome Music Lab. Okay, so if I'm ever in a classroom, this is one of my first things that I will do with the students. It's a great kind of conversation kind of creator. It's brilliant for the younger ones, or anybody who is kind of exploring sound and voice and tone with kind of their bodies, or kind of learning about music. It's great for just kind of exploring sound and playing around. It is always a noisy lesson, which is great fun. But so we've got lots of things within Chrome Music Lab here. All you have to do is Google search Chrome Music Lab. So we've got Songmaker, for example. This is a great one if you're trying to learn everybody's names. Brilliant if you've got any kind of students that are watching this just now, anybody who's kind of at university level, about to go out on placement. This is a great way for you to get your students to kind of get talking and kind of build that connection. Get your students to write their name. So I can change my my instrument down at the bottom left there. You can't see that because my faces there, so you can see there I've got my instruments in the bottom left, and from there, let's head back. Come on, there we go. From there, I'm going to go for marimba. Okay, I can start to draw my name. Okay, great. If you've got wee ones as well, learning about sound of the week, then you can get them to write a word using that sound. Okay, so there's Nile written out. I can then hit play. Okay, so that is a great way for you to kind of explore kind of learning names. It's also a fun way that we spoke about this recently. Kirsty here was chatting to me recently, and we were saying about how this is a great way for your like kind of an end of the day fun activity for your students. Instead of having to kind of use kind of standard techniques of hands up, what's the answer to this question, get your students to write the answer using the Songmaker, and get them to write the word using the Songmaker, and then you can hear back all the answers, everybody all at once. So that is the Songmaker there. You can adjust the tempo and have a little play around with that. We're going to go back. Yes, I'm sure. I don't mind destroying my creation there. We've also got lots of different fun things. So another favorite of mine is the oscillators. So this is great, again linking in with the Blob. Lots of, I can see the Pam there, you're chatting, lots of schools are using, let's just pop in here, are using Chrome Music Lab. Fantastic, I'm glad to hear it. It really is one of my favorite kind of lessons to jump straight in with a class. There's lots of talking points, great way for you to meet them. Similar to the blobs, you can pull up and down. So you can use this for even like a higher or lower game. So for example, ask your students like a year question, like do you think that or like money, do you think that the cost of Freddo is higher or lower than 10 pence? And you get them to either choose higher or lower. Just a little bit fun, playing with sound, exploring sound, and you can then get them to replicate that sound with their voices. We've got the oscillators, got lots of different ones that you can choose from within here. So the classes absolutely love that one. We've got rhythm as well. So this is where you can create your own beat and your own music. Now we are going to talk very quickly about Soundtrap as well later on in just like a few minutes or so. What time are we on? 1:30. Yep. So we're going to talk very quickly about Soundtrap, but this is a great way for you to create a very simple beat. It's not going to save, but you can get your students to make music within the class if that's something that you are learning about. So let's go over here. Let's make a new one. And what's great as well is you can click on the monsters as well, and you can get them to do exactly what you want. Okay, so that is kind of making the beats. And the last one that I would recommend that the classes love is the voice spinner. So get them to say a word. Great, that's fine. Sorry, I've got my phone was buzzing there. Get them to say a word, record that word, and then play it backwards, and see if they you can get somebody to guess what that word is. Again, a great one for voices. So if I allow this, Nile, and then if I pull this backwards,
Run.
get them to guess what the word is.
Nile.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop that and pull it back to the middle. Okay, again, great for quiz answers. You get your students to explore kind of giving that answer and kind of playing around with the sounds. It's also good for if you're doing like a sound of the week, maybe you're on ch or v, then you can get them to record that sound. Ch, ch, ch. And then play it forward, hear it back. Make it faster. Okay, so you can explore the sounds that you're learning about within your class using the voice spinner there. So that is Chrome Music Lab, one of my favorite tools out there. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to close that one down just now just to save on my bandwidth there. And we're going to have a very quick look at Soundtrap. So let's start sharing this tab now. Okay. So this is Soundtrap. There is a free version of Soundtrap that's out there, so you can start using that. This is what I'm using just now. I'm just going to double check on the screen. Yep, you can see this. Perfect. So Soundtrap is a place for you to create music. It's also a place for you to create podcasts as well, and to explore kind of adding sounds and music to your stories. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to enter the studio. And from here, it's going to ask if I want to create music or a podcast. So I'm going to start to create music because I'm going to tell a story with that we're kind of using just now. So the first thing I want to do, you could get your students to record their, to write their story that they're creating, whether that's a Halloween story, whether that's a spooky story, whether that's a winter story down the line, whatever you're learning about in writing just now, you can then record that back. So I'm going to add a new track. And we're going to add in a voice or microphone from in here. Let's just allow microphone access. And I'm going to start, let's just pretend that this is my writing that I've been writing about this week. I'm not using it. So it's going to give me a wee countdown. Once upon a time, in the spooky land of the wooden houses, there once lived 3 bears. Now, these 3 bears liked to go out into the woods, but on Halloween night, the ghosts and ghouls all came out. Okay, so there, it's recorded my very quick impromptu story that I have created. And from there, what I can now do is I can add in a new track. We're just going to, it doesn't matter what we put in here. I'm just going to add in guitar. It doesn't matter what we put in there just now. And I'm going to go up to my sounds and I'm going to start to search for some backing tracks for me. So I'm going to just type in the word spooky. Okay, now there's lots of different spooky sounds that we could add in. So I could add this in. Oh, let's try the free ones down here. There we go. Free sound. Okay, so there's loads of different spooky sounds that you could add in. Let's go for that one. Okay, got it. Perfect. So let's just delete that track there. It's added the track in for us. So now when I play this sound back, it's going to tell my story, but it's going to add in a spooky loop as well. Once upon a time, in the spooky land of the wooden houses, there once lived 3 bears. Now, these 3 bears liked to go out into the woods, but on Halloween night. Okay, now what we can do is we can pull this track back and we can duplicate that. So I can go Control-C and then let's just put it in here, Control-V to paste it in. And now there won't be a kind of a gap in between those. It will just keep playing. So if I go to here, I'll just drag along my timeline up at the top and then hit space to play or hit the play button down the bottom. To go out into the woods, but on Halloween night, the ghosts and ghouls all came out. Okay, so it's a great way for you to explore the stories that you're writing and just kind of up level them and use the digital tools to do things that your books just, or like your writing jotters just couldn't do. And that's what makes Chromebooks so powerful, especially if we're talking about things like the SAMR model. Then we can definitely up level the learning of our students and the abilities of our students just by kind of incorporating all of these different tools that are around us. So for example here, if we were using our jotter to write our story, we could just write the story out and we could just read it out to the class. Doesn't sound too spooky, does it? Now that we've got our story here, we've recorded it with our voice, we've added in some sounds in there to just kind of add to the story and just make it sound that little bit better. On the right hand side as well, we can add in more loops if we're wanting to. So let's add in some strings. Okay, so just hit the plus button there and drag them in. So now we've got even more for our story. Oh, once upon a time in the spooky land of the wooden. Okay, we can adjust the volume of those tracks. We can make the strings a little bit quieter. And now that I have done that, I'm wanting to kind of share that with everybody. So within my group, I can invite other people. So once I know their email addresses, I can invite them. So it's going to save my project for me. And we can now work collaboratively within this sound and within this project that we're working on. So we can enter their email addresses or we can just share that link. We can also have a video call with everybody within our group. So I can just hit the call and I can interview a guest. Now this works really well with the podcast kind of side of things. So you could have your students talking to each other and recording that conversation, and then you could release that as a podcast for your class, for your school, whatever you are doing. So you can have multiple collaborators within the same sound or project that you are working on. And you can also leave comments for everybody as well. So you can say things like, I don't like this sound, maybe we should try a witch's cackle, that kind of thing. So that's an example of how you can use Soundtrap. I've got, let's just exit that just now. So that's how you share it, name it up at the top. I've got an example of kind of what a fully kind of created one would look like. So this is a piece of music that we've written within the work. So this is, I'm not going to play it for you just now, but this is one that we've been kind of working on. Pam did most of the work for this. I cannot take much credit for that, but this is just an example of how you can use those sounds and create something that kind of turns into a full song. So you've got lots of different tracks here, just adding them all in together. So that is Soundtrap very quickly. Like I said, there are free versions, there are paid for versions. Just go for the free version. It's got pretty much everything that you could possibly need. Just going to remove that screen now, and we've got just 10 minutes or so, which is perfect timing for Canva. So let's have a little look at creating some video and some images using Canva. So I'm just going to share my screen for the final time. Oh. Let's try that again. Canva. Okay, so here I am in Canva. There are free accounts for educators and for students. You just have to log in. You can just type in Canva teacher. If I do that, just now it'll disappear. Hold on, let's give it a wee try. Canva for education, you just have to log in and you've then got access to everything for free. Okay, so it really is fantastic for your students. But I'm going to go to back to Canva where I am logged in already, and we're going to create a video. So one thing about the Chromebooks that we've chatted about before, one question that we get all the time is, where can I create videos? Now, there should be video creation coming down the line, but I don't know how long that's going to be until that is available, kind of embedded into the Chromebooks. Using Canva just now is a great way to kind of save that and to start creating the videos within your Chromebook. So I'm going to go to create a design up in the top right hand corner, and we are going to create a video. If it doesn't appear for you, you can scroll down or you can just search for a video there. So I'm going to create a video here. Now, what's great about Canva is that everything comes with a Creative Commons license. So you can use it elsewhere, whether that's for your business, for your school, you can use it everywhere that you need to. If you are sharing it to places like YouTube, you do need to link it to that YouTube account just so that you don't get any kind of copyright pings. But as long as you link it to your account, you're fine. You're absolutely golden. So we can start to create a video, say for Halloween. So here we've got some kind of pre-created ones that it recommends for us. I'm going to type in for video template. Let's go for Halloween videos. Okay, and there we've got a template that we can use and we can create from. Okay, so it's already added those in. I can edit the text that's in there. So let's just change that to 31. You can edit this text. Let's change the color. This comes with kind of the color scheme already created and kind of done for you, but we can change that. Let's make that one orange, and let's make that one, let's go for kind of bluey. Doesn't really stand out so well. Let's make it a bit darker. There we go. Happy Halloween. Okay, so it's a great way for you to make your edits. We've also got some images in here. I don't know how I feel about these eyes. They're a bit spooky, so I'm going to go to Elements. Oh, sorry, no, I'm going to go to, Elements, and I'm going to type in witch. Okay. And let's go for a video. Oh, we can add in witches down there. I quite like that. Or let's go for, how about graphic? Any there that move? Oh, I quite like those. Or we could type in witch GIF as well. Any witch is going to show up here. Maybe there's not any witch GIFs. That's no problem at all. We'll just go for witch. That's fine. And we'll add in, I quite like this one, where they're flying in front of the moon. We're just going to pop that there in the middle. Okay, so now that we've got our first kind of page there, we're going to add our new page. And from there, we're going to choose a background for our video, and let's go for this one here. It'll automatically adjust everything to the background for you. We can add in some text, so let's add in a heading. I'm going to change the font. Let's go for a spooky font. I wonder if there's one spooky. Not called spooky, that's fine. We can choose one ourselves. So let's come down. Let's find one that looks kind of scary. And let's go for oh, not like too scary. This one here. That'll do just now. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust the size of my text. And let's put join us for a Halloween party. It's not telling me to just. Does Halloween have the little apostrophe? I think it does. I'm just going to leave it just now. It's not telling me to put it in. Join us for a Halloween party. I don't know how I feel about that background, so we're just going to change that. Let's go for a spooky one. Spooky. Nope. Let's go for Halloween. Oh, perfect. Pumpkins. Join us for a Halloween party. Let's just make that a little bit. There we go. Stick it in there a wee bit. And then the last thing we need is we need our date. Oh, I like that text that's popped up. So let's go for October 31st at 6 p.m. Okay. Now, I know Pam will be watching this and saying, "Oh, it doesn't look too good now." Think about all your kind of professional like looking design. So I'm just going to change that background one last time. Let's make it look a little bit nicer. I'm just going to go for a kind of plain background. Let's go for purple, so it's a little bit spookier. I like that one. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Now I can add in my images. So we're going to go to Elements to add in our images. Let's add in a pumpkin. Oh, need to delete that there. Pumpkin. Add in our pumpkin. Now, one thing to note with if you are, just that, send that to the back, pumpkin's on top. If you are creating anything, you get this little pink line that appears. Oh, has that not been shown? Oh, no, it jumped. Ah, right, okay, what I'm going to do is, thank you, Pam, for spotting that. It's frozen on the first screen. Ah, okay, right. I'll do that again. Sorry, everybody. Let's pull that. Let's try that again. Stop screen, share screen, Canva. Don't know what happened there. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm going to show you everything from start to finish. Let's delete these. We can easily create them again. It's no problem. It takes me 2 minutes. Okay, so here on Canva, we've created our video. Let's try that again. What time are we on? It's fine. We've got a couple of 2 minutes. I'm going to go to videos. I'm going to type in Halloween. Here's my Halloween picture. Let's create this one here. We've got our Halloween video. Let's add that in to our video here. Okay. We can now add in a bit of text to our video. So let's put in, let's try that again, add text box. Join us for our Halloween party. Okay. There we go. Let's make the text a little bit bigger. Well spotted, Pam McDowell. Well spotted. Don't worry, you can see it now. I've got it. I think it was me. Don't worry, we'll get this sorted. So join us for our Halloween party. We'll adjust the font there. Let's go for. We've got any spooky fonts that we can use. Let's come down. Is there anything there? There we go. Join us for our Halloween. Oh, I like that one better actually. Yes, Halloween party. I'm just going to go Control-C, Control-V to copy and paste this text box. Line it up. Make it a bit smaller, reposition it into the middle of the page for me. Let's put in the text, October 31st at 6 p.m. Okay, so there we have our, let's just move that over there. We've got our Halloween video for everybody to watch. Now I'm going to add in a little element. So let's add in our pumpkin down at the bottom here. Now you'll see it pops up with a little purple lines around. You able to see that? I'm now watching it to double check that. So it pops up the purple lines. It's a great place. Try not to go outside those lines. It's a great kind of starter for you. And if you are bang in the middle of the image as well, you'll get one that goes all the way up to the top and one that kind of, there you go, a solid line across the middle as well for horizontal. So let's just pop it about there. Perfect. So there is our video. We can now add in a little bit of audio. Let's see if we can go spooky. Is there any spooky music? Brilliant. So these are all the pro ones. I'm going to just select free for price. Apply filters. Let's change that to, let's just hit audio. So these are all free ones. So I can go down and I can choose this one. Let's see this one in here. So I'm just going to click and add it in. Okay. We can then adjust the sound where we want it to be. Just going to do it very quickly for you because we're running out of time there. And I'm just going to adjust kind of where that goes. We've now created our video. We can watch it back. Okay, so we've created our video there. Now if we're wanting to download it or share it with anybody, up at the top there, we can share this design with absolutely anybody that we like to. You just type in their name or their email address there and what they can do, if they can edit it or just look at it. And then if we want to download it and share it anywhere, you just go to download, MP4 video. Yep, that's absolutely fine. And then hit download to save your video. Okay. So that is how you can use Canva to create a video from within your Chromebook. Just going to pop back over there. I'm going to remove these just now. So, sorry about that there. Thank you very much for hanging in with me there. All our Chromebooks have 360 and cameras. Brilliant. That's brilliant. That's fantastic. I love that. Yeah, so if you do have any questions, please do let us know. I'm going to add myself into the stream again there. You can catch us at Twitter, at Niall Ridgway, and you've also got at Pam Curry, TA as well. Thank you very much to everybody who has joined us. Please do send us your questions. Let us know how you've got on. Tag us in any posts. We would really love to see that, and we do love to hear that everybody has been joining in and kind of enjoying the sessions that we've been running. Thank you very much to Pam McDowell for supporting and organizing all of these. It really has been great to join everybody today. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time. We do appreciate it. And yeah, have a good kind of rest of your day today. And we'll speak to you all again soon. Cheers. Bye.